Hello, Leadership 2200. My name is Henry Everett, and I will be doing my final briefing on servant leadership. Why did I choose servant leadership? I chose servant leadership because that's what I am. I'm a servant leader. What is a servant leader? To me, it's a person that shows leadership while serving others, whether it's personal or civic. Servant leadership is a leadership style whereby an individual interacts with others, either in management or employee capacity, to achieve authority rather than power. Servant leadership is very important these days. People don't have real leaders to look up to. The attitude of a servant leader is very important. Most times, the vibe that you give off as a leader is the vibe that you get back from the people you are leading. Servant leadership is a behavior that is both mental and physical. There are 4 traits to having great attitude as a servant leader I would like to discuss with you today. The first trait is having the confidence of a servant leader. Confidence is a mental attitude that you have gained to face challenging situations. Whatever it takes to get the job done is the attitude you should have. When your confidence is true enough, it overrides any fear. Being confident will let team members know that they could count on their leader at any time. Moses in the Bible, his confidence came from knowing that God had his back and that God will protect him from the enemy. The second trait is having compassion of a servant leader. Compassion is concern for the suffering or misfortune of others. People first is what a servant leader should always think. I always believe if you take care of the people will take care of you. It's good to build relationships through compassion. The people will see the care that you have for them, and will be able to be willing to do more for you and with you. A servant leader that has compassion for the people was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He inspired whites and blacks for more equality. He also had compassion for his team and never put them in harm's way. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, and I quote, "True compassion is more than throwing a coin to a beggar. It demands for our humanity that if we live in a society that produces beggars, we are morally commanded to restructure the society," end quote. The next trait I will be talking about will be competent as a servant leader. Competent is simply having the knowledge, skills, ability to accomplish something successful. Highly competent leaders do more than perform at high level. They motivate people to do the same. Competent leaders never settle. Competent leaders never settle for a good or average, but they go above and beyond to get the job done. Competent leaders makes hard decisions, has vision, and will lead by example. Another great man was Nelson Mandela. He was a competent leader. He studied, he learned, he made decisions based off knowledge for the people in South Africa. Nelson Mandela said, and I quote, "Don't judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." Mandela became one of the biggest servant leaders ever. The last trait that I will be discussing is listening. As a servant leader, listening is very important. By paying complete attention to what others are saying, we help a servant leader understand their team. Sometimes I wonder why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen more than we can talk. Listening also can help a leader to resolve conflicts, also to bring better training for places their team falls short in. Listening is deciding that the other person is important and what that important person is saying at this important time than what you are doing at the time. Sherry Sandberg is the COO at Facebook, and she said, and I quote, "I firmly believe that you lead best when you walk side by side with your colleagues, when you don't just talk, but you also listen." So there you have it. A servant leader is more than leading by example. A servant leader, you are setting the standards for your team. Servant leadership is having confidence in your team, having compassion for your team, being competent enough to lead your team, and to know and to listen to your team so that together you will be the best and nothing less. So being a servant leader is very important these days. We love to take the bull by the horns and to grab hold and take charge. We also like to help others. Compassion, listening, being kind, all those things as a servant leader is very important. As I sit back in my classroom daily, I think about how I'm helping the generation to come or our future. I teach them every day. I teach them skills, I teach them different things in the music world that will hopefully one day that will help them to be a great leader. Servant leadership is very important because without a servant leader, where will we go? Who will we follow? Helping others. That's what Jesus Christ did when he was on earth. He helped others. And I believe we are here to help others. Don't hurt others, help others. And every day will be a great day as a servant leader. I thank y'all for listening to me. I hope one day that you become a servant leader and help others. Remember, sharing is caring. Helping is caring. So try to help each other to do your best and nothing less. Leadership 2200, thank you so much for listening to me today. I am so grateful. I have learned a lot in this class. This class has meant a lot to me and helped me become a better leader. Also, hopefully next year, 2024, when election come back, I will run again for city council. You will hear about my story in the other assignments, but I'm just born to be a servant leader. So thank you so much for listening. And I really enjoyed this class, and thank y'all for tuning in. Have a blessed night.